Now going into our LED lineup, we just talked about OLED and going back to the A80. If you notice the model number, when you see an A, that means Sony OLED. And then when you see an X, that means Sony LED. And the X95 is a mini LED model that will be available pretty much for the custom installation channel, which Gramophone you are. And you all have the opportunity as clients to get this TV through Gramophone, which is really exciting because this TV is not going to be available everywhere. There's going to be basically the dealers that support the custom install channel. And the reason why is because we wanted to offer a ultra premium mini LED option. So the mini LEDs, the benefit of them is that they're smaller density to a traditional LED. So you're able to fit more LEDs behind the panel, which I think there's no argument, Joe, that more LEDs equals better. But with that, with more LEDs and or let's just call it more horsepower, you need a better driver or you need a processor to be able to drive all of that hardware. And again, that's why the XR processor is really able to drive this system, is because we have a processing algorithm called Backlight Master Drive. For our old fans of the Z9D series, that was the processing algorithm that controlled that level of LED control, which was individual LED control, which is very challenging to do in a TV. So now that we have applied that to the X95, you have an 85-inch. So this is going to be only in an 85-inch and essentially no compromise on a LED performance level versus going with, let's say, the 83A80, which might not hit a certain brightness level, but gives you that better contrast than a traditional LED TV would. So we just want to offer a couple of large format benefits. And the thing with the X95 is that if you wanted the X93, went the wrong way, the X95 will basically be the no compromise version of that. So I see we have a couple of questions, Joe, if we want to go ahead and just address them first.
Yeah, John is asking if the A95 is going to be offered in an 83-inch format.
Yeah, no 83 as of right now. We just moved to the 77 this past year, and I don't personally know anything on the manufacturing side, but I can imagine manufacturing cost of the new Quantum Dot OLEDs is just to the point where 77 is really where we can get into.
Okay. So, I mean, at the rate you guys are advancing technology, who knows what will come in the future, but at least in the near term, we're not going to see that in an 83. And then,
yeah, you have to drop down in your size just a little bit.
Okay. And then Gamebrun's asking, how do the new TVs handle current gen gaming consoles in terms of supporting 4K, 120 frames per second, HDR, and that sort of thing?
No, Game Bun, great question. So we actually have a new game menu in all of our new TVs for the 2023 lineup, which is a quick access menu where you can toggle on variable refresh rate, motion blur reduction. You can actually adjust black level performance. I play a game called Escape from Tarkov, which is a very dark themed game, and I die to people who are hiding in the shadows all the time. And you can just quickly toggle your black level up depending on the game that you're playing, which is really cool. Now, to answer the question about 4K 120 HDR Dolby Vision for gaming, the A95 will be the only TV that does Dolby Vision for gaming, but all of our TVs will support HDMI 2.1. We have two HDMI 2.1 inputs that'll do 4K 120 or 8K 60. And as far as input lag, just make sure that you throw the TV in game mode. Game mode is going to shut off a lot of the processing algorithms that add to input lag, but give you a benefit of picture quality. But if you're going for a more competitive experience, then just put the TV in game mode and you'll get the lowest input lag that we offer. Now, obviously, that's going to be dependent on 4K, 60, 1080p, 120 resolution. So you can find a lot of that, a lot of those ratings online. I think there have been some review companies that actually have that.
So it sounds like maybe a little experimentation on the part of the gamer is part of the answer there.
Yep.
Okay, and another question here from GK is ringing in again. Do all these sets have ATSC 3.0 tuners?
They actually, that is a good question, GK. I'll have to get back to you, Joe. And GK, if you want to follow up with an email to Joe, I know that we've done ATSC 3.0 with our last generation. I just want to make sure, and you're actually the first to ask me, but I know that we've done it with our last generation. I'm like a 90% yes, but let me go ahead and confirm before I give you a for sure yes or no. But I'm more comfortable saying yes until I just clarify.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. So now with the X93, this is going to be mini LED as well. Now just keep in mind with mini LED, you have more or less LEDs behind the panel. So the X93 is going to be less amount of LEDs than the 85-inch as the X95L. Remember that X95 is only in an 85 because again, at that size, you're going to notice the blemishes in blooming or other things that LEDs are still improving at when it comes to picture quality. So with the X93, you're going down into a 75 and a 65 as well. So you get very good mini LED control because you're going down in your screen size. That XR processor really helps because it has that same backlight master drive processing algorithm driving the mini LEDs behind the panel. So